Guys, welcome to the show.
Guys, welcome. It's another thrilling episode of the SonsOfVidya show.
First day of April, finally. That lousy March weather's out of here.
You stole my Simpsons reference from last episode. It's episode 91, guys. We're getting way too deep in. We're like old men. If we were 91 years old, you'd say, put them down.
Well, in Sun's years, we're only 12.
In dog years?
I said Sun's years.
Oh, right. See, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, guys, today we have a very special guest, a fan favorite. Everyone loves him.
We get literally singles of letters every time he's on.
No, I think we got an email or comment about someone wishing him a happy birthday last month, which I did not deliver to him. Anyway, Baz is here.
That happened?
Yeah, it totally happened.
That happened?
Because we made a joke about it on an episode, and someone was like, "Oh, poor Baz," and I was like, "Yeah, dude, you got fans out there for some reason."
Why is he poor Baz? We wished him a happy birthday on air. What's better than that?
I know.
We don't do that for anyone else. We don't even do that for Jesus.
We don't. We kind of skipped that.
Yeah.
Well, he knows what this is all about.
That's true. Anyway, guys, the first. Oh, dude, we got to talk about something else, too, now that I remember.
Dude, what?
I feel like... Well, I'll say it right now. Guys, guess what? FTL expansion comes out this week. I'm super excited.
Oh, yeah, that was actually announced this week, and, it was announced when? Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very recently, but I'm very excited.
Yeah, guys, the FTL expansion that we talk about, every 5 seconds... was finally announced to come out the 3rd.
April 3rd, 2 days from today. Can you even believe it?
If you could even believe it. Anyway, FTL rules really hard. And
there's really nothing more we can say about it.
No, we can't say
we talk about FTL quite a lot as being the perfectest game of all time.
It's coming out for iPad. You should get on that. Baz has an iPad.
No, I don't.
You got rid of it?
Yeah, years ago.
What?
I had a first gen, yeah.
This is news to me.
Oh.
I feel like I should have received that iPad as a sign of gratitude for letting you on my first-rate podcast.
I hope all your fans are enjoying the mayhem on the internet that is April 1st.
Dude, I hate... If anyone pranks me on April Fool's Day, you're dead.
There's some Google stuff up already.
Really?
Yeah, I believe it.
Dude, I forgot the show's coming on April Fool's. This blows. Guys, this isn't a prank. The show isn't a joke. No one's joking.
The internet's a rough place on the 1st.
No one's joking about this. This is the most serious show of all time. For real, FTL's coming out.
Yeah,
nobody get confused.
That is no joke.
That is no joke.
Do we have an April Fool's planned for this podcast?
I was about to say, should we come up with a quick joke? Should we say that
this will be their one safe haven from the...
That's what I feel like.
I feel
that. You're so bombarded with goofsters and prankies.
Yeah.
You just don't want to have to deal with that.
Dude, last year it was real bad with the prankies. They were just all over the place.
I had to beat them off with a stick.
Yeah, it was bad news.
Everyone's,
Here's my thing. Here's what I'm going to do from now on.
What's from now on?
Here's what I'm going to do from now on.
Okay.
Instead of April Fool's Day on April 1st, we're just going to have Fastnacht Day 2. That's what I'm going to do.
Which one is that? Is that the one where you eat the donuts?
Yeah, it's Donut Day. I'm just going to have another Donut Day.
Listen,
that's no April Fool's, guys. Eat donuts.
How about avoid the Internet Day?
Dude, no.
That's not a life I'm willing to lead.
See, the thing is...
There's some sacrifices, but that's a bridge too far.
His idea involved eating donuts. Your idea involves not looking at porn. You understand why there's a big difference here? One is clearly right and one is clearly wrong. So, I'm just saying. If we could have more holidays involving donuts, that'd be terrific.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like right now Easter is losing out on a lot of donut profits because we're all thinking about bunnies and stuff.
Well, you got your candy levels are through the roof during Easter.
Those are high, but I feel like the Easter bunny would want us to have donuts too.
Yeah, well,
King's cake.
I think King's cake.
I think have in New Orleans
that he is some
cool cake.
Some kind of sweetness,
What are you saying with a penis?
What?
That's what I heard.
No, I said it's important that you have some kind of sweetness.
Oh, yeah. No, that's true. So, you're talking about King's Cake? I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, Google it. It's awesome. I'm
not going to Google it. You're right here.
I'm telling your fans to Google it. They'll enjoy.
Okay. I guess we're not going to talk any more about it. Just Google it, guys.
It's a big cake, and it's got purple and green and yellow.
Why is it called a King's Cake?
Because it has those colors.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not like a fun crown on
It's
it.
like a New Orleans, like Saints, Kings, all that stuff.
Listen,
It's a well-run Caribbean city.
dude.
Can you really call it that? Wouldn't Creole be more appropriate?
Nah,
No? Okay.
Nah.
Listen, he's been there once, so he's an expert.
naturally.
That's how that works.
Anyway, we have other important things to talk about.
He's
I'll let you guys
aside
get to
from
it.
He's right.
donuts.
Guys, big DLC release came out this previous week.
Last
which
week, yeah, dude.
You all would have assumed that we didn't care about, which would have been a safe assumption.
We talked about it, I believe, a little bit. Not a whole lot, but we did
Yeah.
mention it.
Guys, you may have recalled us talking about the first installment of this a few weeks back and how much we didn't like it and hated its guts.
I forget when that came. That came out like earlier this year. I think that came out like back in February. It was a while ago.
Yeah, it was not recent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that sounded terrible.
Yeah, it sure wasn't so great. It actually kind of made us mad.
Yeah, we talked about that on air, and we're going to talk about the episode 2 right now, guys. Bioshock Infinite Burial at Sea.
Burial
The
at
second
Sea.
and last DLC that Irrational Games will ever make.
It's true.
Yeah.
This one you're playing as Elizabeth, who is some lady who you've never met before, except she starred in both the DLCs.
Yeah, also
the-
she
and the
was in
full
the
game.
main game. Yeah.
And it focuses a lot more on stealth than the first. Okay, let me just shut up for a second.
Okay.
I didn't beat it yet, guys. D-Marks has beaten it. There isn't going to really be any spoilers here, but there might be some talk of stuff that happens in the game.
I just want to gauge how far you are.
I have
For
not
me
progressed.
personally.
Okay, yeah, okay. Here's where I am. We did all the first stuff. We're now in Fink's lab looking for hair.
Okay. All right.
That's as far as I am. You said I
Okay.
might have 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, you got a little bit. It's winding down.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
You're in the back nine. We'd call it.
Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, that is substantially longer than the first half was.
Yeah, that's the first thing I will say. This is much longer than the first episode. The first episode felt like it almost felt like a trailer, almost, you know, because you're kind of getting into it, and then it ends and you're done.
Yeah, and that was probably my biggest complaint, is that it lets you have a lot of things unresolved.
Yeah,
you
you
didn't
see
feel like
Brad
you
Pitt
got
on
anything
screen, and you're
done.
like, oh yeah, and then it's over. You're on to the next one.
And because it felt so shallow in terms of length, you really felt like it was more of a. We said it before. It was like a Bioshock, what would we say, fan service, fan story,
Fanfic, yeah,
fanfic.
fan fiction. We call
Which is
it, guys,
Pretty darn true.
because that's what it really felt
Well, it was
like.
good
'cause,
fan fiction.
Well, there is
It
good fan
wasn't good.
fiction, but the point of this was just the fact that it really felt shoehorned the way that they were like, and Booker and Elizabeth were in rapture now because of reasons that they are, and you go around doing stuff.
And that's exactly how we took it, because we hadn't experienced this DLC yet.
Yeah, and it really put a sour taste in our mouths until I watched the trailers for episode 2 when they were released, which was a couple weeks ago. They were pretty quiet about the whole thing. They were fairly quiet about the whole second episode until they were close to the release date. So I didn't know a whole lot about it until I watched the first trailer that was released. And guys, I got to be honest, when I saw that trailer, I was getting pretty hopeful because it looked really good. I actually was intrigued by the way that it was opening, because you had Elizabeth, she was on the floor, and then Atlas is talking to you, and then Booker's playing his guitar, doing something wacky in the background.
Doing some goofball.
Slide guitar.
Some
He's
goof.
sitting there being all dead, but also all alive and junk.
Also, just being a regular goof-o-matic. But
He's playing an April Fool's Day prank by being dead on the floor,
exactly,
but also alive.
being a pranky. But yeah, so if that aspect, and Booker was talking to Elizabeth the whole time, but he was clearly a hallucination or an illusion or whatever, because nobody else was interacting with him. So that interested me, and I was like, okay, you're doing something different, which I appreciated, because the first episode felt really samey. As Tom said, guys, I beat it all the way through, and my verdict, should I give my verdict?
I'm gonna give
Verdicting?
my
A hot verdicting?
Yeah, give a hot verdicting.
All right, I'm going to give a hot verdicting. Guys, I really liked episode 2. I thought it was excellent. I quite enjoyed it as Bioshock DLC. Probably not as good as Minerva's Den, which is pretty high up there on the list of things that people like. But it was a heck of a lot better than the first episode. And there's a lot more substance. There's a lot more... I felt actually like I wanted to explore, as opposed to in the first episode where I was just kind of like, whatever, I gotta go do this and this, this and this. But the way that everything's framed with 2, where you're playing as Elizabeth and basically you bargained for your life and the life of this little sister that you're trying to rescue by promising that you'll free Atlas and get him back into Rapture, and how that's framed is very interesting to me. And I liked the way that they really dealt with the whole concept of consequence and action. Tom C., why don't you tell me some of your thoughts about it, because you also played it.
Yeah, see, I was worried it would be a little too heavily stealth-focused, and it would be kind of more linear in how you had to deal with stuff, which is true. Like, really, there's only one or so way you're going to get through this, which is the problem with the DLCs in general over the main game. But for the most part, they give you choices on how you can deal with enemies, because there are new plasmids and there's new weapons, specifically the crossbow, which is actually really fun to use.
Yeah, the crossbow's really good.
They give you a bunch of different ammo. They give you noisemakers, which are the best thing in the game, and anyone who tells you anything else is better is wrong. Because it's just, first of all, they're free if you find them, which you always will, because they're super easy to get through lockpicking. And then what they do is they just distract everyone in the room and have them all magically walk over there because they're idiots or something.
Well,
like,
also, if you pair that...
loud. Let's walk over to it.
Well, also, if you pair that with the other ammunition type you get, which is gas clouds, it just knocks them all out, and it's the best.
Yeah, it's like
sounds awesome.
No, it's real awesome, and they're super duper good.
Dude, remember the crossbow from Dishonored and how kick-ass that was?
No, it was super rad. Did you go non-lethal? I've been going non-lethal.
Yeah, I did a whole non-lethal run. I actually didn't kill anyone.
There is a mode, but I'm not doing
I did it without the stupid 1998 mode because I'm cool like that. I wish I would have gotten an achievement for beating it non-lethally without going that mode, because I feel like I should have.
Yeah,
but whatever.
That was my worry, is that I would beat it, nothing would happen, and then they'd be like, well, then do it in this mode, and then you'll get it. And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, speaking of cool arrows and crossbows and stuff, in Thief, for the original Xbox, there was an arrow, it was called the Moss Arrow.
Yeah.
And when you shoot at places, it would grow, and then you'd walk on that area, and it'd make your footsteps more quiet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they had a water arrow you could put out, like, torches and lights.
Dude, did you hear about
Game's so good.
Did you hear about the newest, like, they just made Thief again, like a reboot?
Yeah, they did a reboot.
Like a reboot, yeah, like it's Thief 4, technically. Everybody hates it.
Yeah.
Like, the one on the original Xbox is awesome.
Yeah, people love Thief, but, like, this one, like, it, like, took everything everyone loved and just made it generic and bad.
Yeah, it was really good stealthy fun.
Apparently 2 and 3 were really, really good. But I've never played them. But anyway, yeah. Crossbows tend to be rad, and they are super rad in this one.
Yeah. They're really good and really useful.
Also, here's the deal. You get new plasmids, like I said. You get Ironsides, which is just a total ripoff of Return to Sender, except worse.
Yeah.
Right? You also get Peeping
you get
Tom,
Peeping Tom, which is the only thing you need.
Which is obviously the best one in the game ever, because you get mods for it that make it free to do everything you ever want to do with it.
Yeah, just stay still, and it's free.
You're like, oh, do you want to see through walls and be invisible for no cost at any time? Okay, then just press this one button. And I'm like, okay, I will always be pressing this one button.
Yeah, it's real good.
So like it almost makes it too easy, which whatever. That I'm not against that, but
yeah, but I think that benefits the style. Because like, here's the deal: if you didn't have that, the game would have totally failed as a stealth game. Like, it would have totally sucked.
Well, yeah. Also, the thing is that those were rewards for exploring, because you're not necessarily given the free stuff right off the bat.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the secret about Bioshock games in general, is that the reason you want to explore in this game is because you get upgrades to things like plasmids and weapons, which is a reason to explore in any of those games, because it makes you have more fun by getting better stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And so that was definitely completely missing from the first half of the DLC, and it's totally in here in the second half, and you're like, great.
Yeah, that was when I was talking about how, like, it actually felt like exploring in this game, and like, the rewards for exploring were actually, like, good and stuff that you wanted to get, as opposed to, like, just getting something. I don't even remember what you would have gotten in that game.
You don't get anything. Well, you get the radar gun. That's kind of cool.
You get the radar gun in this one too, though.
I know, but I'm saying that was like the only new thing in the other thing.
Oh yeah.
But like that was not worth any real reason to continue for me. But I would say this.
How are you liking it so far in terms of
I'm really enjoying it. I wanted to finish it by now because I sat down for a few hours the first time I played it, and then I immediately the next day played for a few more hours. It makes me want to come back and keep exploring in it because it's actually an interesting story. I like the way that everything's going in it. I don't love the way Elizabeth acts in it, though. Not like from a story-wise. I feel like her actress is hamming it up too hard.
Yeah,
She has this kind of Lindsay Lohan-esque voice, and I'm not on board with it.
I'm not sure if it's Lindsay Lohan-esque, but then again, I don't think I've ever actually heard Lindsay Lohan talk.
It's like kind of lilty and like gravelly, like for no reason.
I think they're
trying to like make her look edgier or something.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to represent more of the noir style that this is going for. Well, especially this one, where because the first episode was strictly like noir mystery, trying to find out what happened to Sally, who's the little sister, guys. This one really is a lot more like bleak, and it's really like a lot darker than the first episode was, and I think that really played to it well. Especially, did you like the opening scene?
Yeah, I thought I liked how they kind of revealed a lot.
Yeah.
And like they kind of made the previous things that you didn't like make sense and be more interesting right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because they kind of were like, we know this was stupid, now it's not stupid. And you're like, oh. And
yeah.
then connected what you felt was just some side story with the main game.
Yeah, like we said, guys, we're trying not to reveal too much here because this is a pretty fresh release, obviously, and we don't want to spoil it for anybody. But I really enjoyed Bioshock. I definitely want to play it again, which is not something I say too often. I definitely didn't say it about episode 1, but I definitely want to play episode 2 again because I bet there's a lot of stuff that I missed as well. Because I didn't rush through it, but I bet there were and the another key about stealth games is, at least from the way I perceive them, is not an abundance of resources. And there was a lot of times where I actually ran out of ammo and things and plasmids, and had to really use my brain as opposed to just coasting on the gear that I had. And I didn't explore certain areas because I simply didn't have. I had to make the choice of putting myself in danger to explore more areas or conserving my resources and progressing through the story. So it's definitely stuff that I missed. And that makes me excited to go back and play it.
In general, it feels better thought out in basically every regard.
Yeah.
And I would have to say, if you like Bioshock, you'd probably like this.
I
wish I had played the entire thing at the same time, just so I didn't have the first bad taste. But that's just how it is. That they wanted to make you feel a way.
Yeah, I wonder if I went back and played the first episode now and kind of marathoned it, if I would feel any different about it.
Maybe. I don't know. Guys, you're going to have to make your own conclusion, though, because we're going away for a couple of minutes. We're going to see
30 seconds.
Well, it's never 30 seconds. It's like 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's true, too.
I
Guys,
said
we'll
minutes,
see you later.
And I'm sticking by it. We'll see you next half. Guys, welcome back.
Guys, we are back in all colors. We're not racist.
You might be wondering what BAZ is actually doing here. He was silent as a church mouse the other half of the show. So I
was respectfully sitting in the corner.
Sometimes he just breaks in and
respectfully church mousing it.
He brings his own microphone, he wires it up, and so we got to kind of entertain that.
It's situated thus.
Yeah, we have an open door policy that is only for BAZ.
Yeah, it's only for BAZ. And
only for BAZ.
If somebody else I liked was on the show, maybe we'd do it.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But he is here to talk about something. Did you publish a new book?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. If you were to publish a book, would you come to our show to advertise it?
Yeah, but it'd be totally off topic.
Okay.
It'd be like 15 ways to get stains out of your Ugg boots or something.
Okay.
I respect that.
It's an ebook.
I respect that.
That's
$3 digital download.
I feel like that's what we're all about.
Yeah.
Not Ugg boots, but being off topic.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would definitely agree with that.
Which is why we're going to take another 3 minutes to get to whatever you have to talk about. No, really. So our good friend Baz here is a world traveler now. He's America's guest, and so he's been up to no good all the past few weeks for whatever reason. But he recently got to play a game that we've all been wanting to play, and you guys have been suggesting for us to try out. And so we figured...
Oh, you've had suggestions from fans.
And so I figured we would direct our questions to him.
Well, guess what? Those are good suggestions. You should follow their suggestions.
Guys,
'cause it's super good.
Our friend Baz here has had some real time sitting down with a game called Titanfall, which is a big release right now.
Yep.
This was a shock when I heard it, because Baz, while he knows of Vidya, he does not normally indulge.
He indulges in very select games.
Yeah, that's more what I meant.
That's how a nice guy would say it.
I partake in small doses.
Yeah,
Exactly. Everything in moderation.
Not only did he play it, he then told me how much he liked it.
I like to provide the casual perspective on this podcast.
Now, here's the deal. Not only is he a filthy casual, but he is specifically proficient at certain FPS games and certain RTS games, certain things that he likes a lot. And so, if he recommends an FPS to me, I'm going to listen. And this game, I hear, is an FPS. Is that true?
Yeah, so because I encountered it, I had seen press about it online, even though I don't really follow this kind of stuff. It was leaking into all the other places I do follow.
What were you seeing on the things you follow?
That it got like 60 million awards.
Right.
I think that number actually might be 60, not 60 million.
Right.
But for the number of times I saw it, it's basically indistinguishable.
It was a very big splash at E3 this past year. Like it was a runaway as far as like marketing and prizes awarded. Like it was a big deal, and it really came out of nowhere for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were trying to make it a big deal because it was a launch title.
Well, Respawn Entertainment, that company, those guys are from Infinity Ward.
That's what I was wondering.
Which is the company that made the Call of Duty games that I liked, not the other one that I did not like.
I heard that.
Okay, but you have a controversial opinion because me and D-Marks love Treyarch, actually.
Yeah,
I like the Treyarch one.
They don't suck.
I don't care for them.
World at War is literally the best Call of Duty game. There, I said it. Anyway, and also they're always the ones who made Nazi zombies. Sorry, you can disagree, whatever.
No, I didn't care for that mode. So yeah, Titanfall though is strikes a perfect balance between so many things because the complexity is at the right level where people can pick it up and you can become relatively skilled and enjoy yourself. More importantly, you can really enjoy yourself really fast.
Okay.
Like I played through the tutorial, knowing basically nothing about the game, and that was actually the first time I touched an Xbox One as well.
Oh yeah.
The controller is like an S-type, but just a little bit sharper. So, and it's really well designed. I was really impressed with the whole thing in general.
Do you like the controller more or less than the?
I like it more. Yeah, it's really? Wireless, but it's wireless without the obtrusive battery pack on the back.
Oh, that's nice.
It's kind of integrated into it, so it's easier to hold, and the shoulder buttons are better too.
That's long overdue.
Yeah, and the D-pad's even improved.
Really?
Although I don't know if it's up to your fighting game standards.
Well, the Xbox 360 had the world's worst D-pad.
Yeah, so bad. And I don't even use it. I know it's bad.
It's like some people like it, and those people are idiots.
Listen, I really like how it's called the X-Bone, by the way.
No, I feel like they knew it was going to be the bone. There's no way they walked out of that first meeting and were like, yeah, it's not going to be called the bone.
Well, let me provide a little bit of context, like they do when they're doing Scotch tastings. It's a deep in the New York night. I just ate a large Mexican meal.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was at my friend's apartment in New York, and his roommate has a very large projector screen, maybe 8 feet diagonally.
Okay.
I don't know the conversion for your overseas listeners. Sorry.
That's about 400 meters.
It's one click.
It's about 3 knots.
And it's an HD projector on this big-ass screen. And I'm sitting there like 15 feet away from it, which in my opinion is not far enough. But it's in New York, so their apartment's only so big.
Yeah.
And I turn on the Xbox, and I'm like, oh, Titanfall demo's on here. All right, let's go to play it. And it's like, oh, demo expired. My friend walks out of his room, and I'm like, man, I wanted to play Titanfall. And he's like, oh, let me call my roommate. And he calls him up, and he's like, oh yeah, I had a promo code for that. So he punched in the promo code, wait for the download. 17 gigs.
It's only 17.
17 gigs.
I heard it was like 30 gigs.
It was like 16.4.
It might be 30 on PC.
Yeah,
well, this is on the X-Bone. I don't know about the PC.
Yeah, PC version's like crazy.
And I just jumped in and started playing, and I played deep into the night.
Deep into the night.
Deep into the night. And I went through the tutorial, which is very helpful and well.
Yeah,
well
I heard the tutorial is almost required in that game.
Yeah, because there's so much wall running, you have to like wrap your head around it. In fact, just in general, there's an inordinate amount of like curved walls in that game.
What are you talking about? Wall running?
So there's like there's a wall running parkour element to that game.
Oh, sorry. PC version Titanfall is 48 gigs.
Wow, that's ridiculous. Yeah, it's only
the install
16 or
size.
so
It's
on
not
the
the
Xbox.
download size, though.
And
Sorry for distracting you.
where was I? I was running up a wall.
Running up a wall.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
shoot while
I heard
too.
wall
It's
running
super
was a big
cool.
part as well.
I don't know that I'm on board with that. Is it fun to do?
It's really fun because there's the maps are there's a bunch of maps. I played a bunch of rounds in a couple different modes, and I think I only played a couple maps like once or twice. There must be there's 15 maps I read somewhere.
That seems pretty good.
Because I read after I played it, I read stuff about it because I was interested.
It's a rare thing.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's this perfect balance, and the controls are really fluid, and they translate really well into the Titans, which are these mechanized suits that you don't really earn them like kill streaks.
See, that's what I was wondering.
You kind of get them after a certain amount of time, and then if you do better with them,
or do you have to go like? Is it like Battlefield where they spawn and you have to go get one? Or
no, it's cool when you initiate Titanfall, aka I'm making air quotes right now. That's when a Titan drops from the heavens from some orbital dropship and explodes on the ground and makes a cool noise, and then it has this bubble shield you can jump in.
Okay, but it's like yours.
It's yours, yeah. Although it can be stolen if you let that shield go down and an enemy approaches. Okay. One of the cool things about them is you can actually drop them on people and it will kill them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I never did that successfully, but I tried.
Yeah,
I imagine that was something that they knew they had to put in for obvious cool reasons.
It's super cool. Yeah, it's super cool.
I'm all aboard with orbital drops killing people.
So you, as the person who's playing the first-person shooter, which honestly feels like a slightly slower version of Call of Duty with more futuristic weapons. Like there's a pistol that locks onto people.
Everyone's on board with that, first of all.
There's a pistol that locks onto people.
Okay.
You got your requisite shotgun, your submachine gun, your mediocre rifle, whatever.
How would you say the designs of the weapons are? Are they really cool or below Halo level?
No, they're real cool.
Okay,
they're real cool.
What I'm really curious about is because let's face it, wall running that's cool, blah 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 blah. But you're there for the robots. The robots are like the money shot of this game. What's your split of time on foot and time in robot?
If you're good, you can spend a majority of the round inside the Titans.
Okay, that's
because
cool.
They have shields much like you had in Halo, and they have like a health bar too. So you can get hit a few times and then regenerate the shield to keep fighting. Or if you get hit and then your health bar goes down, your Titan starts to take damage and its performance degrades, and you eventually get
there's performance degrading. That's rad.
Oh, like slightly. It's only towards like the lower end, I think.
I still like that they put it in though. That's the kind of like little features that I enjoy.
Okay.
One of the things that I really liked about this game though, the controls translate so directly. So you're walking around as a pilot, and then you get in the Titan, and all the stuff is the same. The only thing that's really different is the Titans can't jump, so they have like a boost ability instead, which is really handy.
I think that was a Spike Lee movie. Titans can't jump.
That's not funny.
It's about the Tennessee Titans.
Okay. Here's the deal. So I think you were kind of misinterpreting there, because I think you're saying like there's like some minor like performance things, but there's not like dynamic damage on suits, is there? Like you can't like take out someone's arm or their suit.
I don't believe so. I don't know enough to say that 100% certainty.
That would have been totally rad.
And there's not really a destructible environment either that I noticed. Like you're in a building and it doesn't like explode. Mm-hmm. But this game is really interesting because the verticality, if that's a word, of a FPS game is totally redefined.
Well, it's
you have the ability to jump and grab onto stuff, but then you can also use a jetpack or a little booster thing, and then you can also run up things. Right. So you can scale a building in no time, and there's a guy up there who thinks he's all safe, like sniping or whatever.
Yeah. And
you just could do like one of those like super over the top violent neck snaps. I mean, I definitely have my my contentious bones to pick with the game too.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued from that aspect. Sorry, I kind of stepped over you there.
No, please.
I'm intrigued from that aspect because when we talked back when we first played Dishonored and we were talking about that, one of the things that Tom and I both really liked about it was that it was very much a game in 3 dimensions, and I like that idea in an FPS where like because a lot of times people will you find a spot that's high up you get a good sniping position, and then you just kind of chill out. But I really like the idea that like you can use the terrain to your advantage, not just for attacking, but also for movement and eluding enemies. And I think that's a cool touch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you get around a lot faster. You have a real speed advantage when you're doing wall running and jumping up things. You can dash in this game for a seemingly indefinite amount of time. And you gain momentum, too, which is interesting.
That's weird.
Yeah, the way it looks visually is really cool, too.
Can you do like a Halo-style stealing someone's suit? Or is like once you have your suit, you're like...
I'm sure you can, but I never did it, and no one else ever did it to me. No, you can get in and out of the suits pretty fluidly. If someone jumps on your suit, they call it rodeoing.
That's cool.
Yeah, and you can actually get out and kill that person. Or you can get out of your suit at any time and then use the D-pad to tell it to do stuff like guard or follow you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it has automated intelligence, and it works pretty freaking well.
That's really cool.
I've gotten out of my suit before to have it protect me in a building, and then it would mop up like guys who I didn't notice who were coming to try to get me.
Okay,
that's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. You have a partnership with it, but you can also be inside of it.
Dude, here's the problem.
There's a bunch of different kinds of suits, too.
I don't have the money to buy this game tonight, and also I should be playing other games. But that all sounds awesome.
It's really good.
Do the suits look sweet? Is that a stupid
That's
question?
one of the things. The suits are not really futuristic looking. The game is set in a future. Mm-hmm. Oh, distant future?
Distant future?
But the suits, while they're super advanced, they don't look super advanced. They have a kind of rough around the edges look to them, and some of them are a little bit ugly.
Really?
See, I don't hate that. I like that because that's what makes a game feel kind of it's just very very important in sci-fi is that the technology has to look lived in. Like the thing about Mass Effect is Mass Effect's a really pretty game, but for the most part everything's really clean. Even like Omega, which is supposed to be like a really shitty mining asteroid colony thing.
Yeah.
There's not wires hanging out. There's not really anything that like tells you that like people have lived here for a very long time. But like robots that are kind of like they have rough edges and they're probably being reused and drop into war zone after war zone. It's just the kind of wear and tear they get. That's the kind of thing that draws me into a sci-fi game, and I really actually like.
There's oil spots.
Yeah, that's really
that's kind
cool.
of something Star Wars did. Is like everything in there was like future, but also like busted up.
Yeah, you look at the Millennium Falcon. That thing's a piece of shit, but it's rad. Everyone loves it.
Basically, every suit's the Millennium Falcon. Do you agree with that?
No, because they can't make the Kessel Run in 12
Do you know
parsecs
this?
or whatever.
You don't know that.
I don't know that.
You don't know that.
It's funny, they allude to kind of like the backstory of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was wondering about that as well. Like,
It
what's the
doesn't have a
premise?
single player.
Because it's multiplayer only, yeah.
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 But
They
they
kind of
allude to
have
the backstory, and they're like, it's the militia versus the IMC or whatever, and there's like, you're fighting on this planet. And it looks kind of cool. It's like probably got a cool mythos, but I didn't really look into that at all.
Right, but I do like games that kind of give you that lore and atmosphere without telling you it directly. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a neat thing. I'm on board with that.
Can I get to my few points of contention that I don't like about it?
Please
do.
So, one of them is the problem that all modern FPSs suffer from, which is the too much crap on the screen
I knew
problem.
you were going to say that.
You know I hate that. And they're like, you got the guy headshot, 5 points. Like, I don't need points telling me all the time. I just want to play the game.
Oh, like a feed.
Yeah, like the instant gratification stuff.
Call of Duty started with that. I blame
Yeah.
them. I blame those guys.
See, I don't hate that stuff. I feel like it helps you really know when you're doing stuff, and like maybe not all like the song and dance was, but it really helps to know when you're killing somebody.
I want less things.
I know when I played Red Orchestra, they don't tell you anything, and so that's kind of like the opposite. But I find that
There's a balance to be struck.
yeah,
I
enjoy
definitely would agree with
But
that.
maybe that's what the mainstream audience expects now. They want to see all the numbers adding up, and they want all the points and all that stuff.
I think it's a numbers game for a lot of people.
And what else is kind of weird? There are bots and AI that are on the multiplayer maps that are not humans, that are still things you can kill. They're like grunts and like this thing called specters, which are like robots or something.
Was this for underpopulated games or for all games?
No, because the max a game can be is 6v6, I think. But you have all these grunts running around, and they have poor aim. They're like stormtroopers, essentially.
I kind of like this.
I don't know how I felt about it.
That's very much almost like a MOBA thing, actually. Like having just grunt units that your enemies have that you can just kill really easily.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of cool. I think it kind of pads everything out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because Red Orchestra also had bots that would be kind of there even if you had a multiplayer game, and it kind of always was nice to have like old Johnny, the stupid guy, running in.
I think the reason they have for it in Titanfall, is you're a pilot. You're a special class. You're a breed above these other guys. And as a pilot, you're super trained at combat. You have the cool equipment, but you also can pilot the badass robots. Yeah. And these guys are just dudes that come down in these little drop pods, and they shoot poorly and run around.
Yeah, I respect that.
Is it all just like deathmatch, or is there like capture the flag or stuff like that?
They got your classics. They got your standard capture the flags. They got your checkpoint hold'ems. They got your, I think the main deathmatch mode is just called attrition. Another thing that's kind of interesting, when the round ends, your team loses, more air quotes here, and your dropship comes. And you can actually leave the battlefield in the dropship, and you get a reduced penalty for losing, I believe.
That's kind of rad.
I never actually made it. Because the dropships come in these places that are sort of hard to get to, and then you got to actually physically jump in. And the one time I tried and I fell short. It was really embarrassing.
That kind of
that's like out of a movie. You're like, I got murdered.
Yeah, it's funny
though, because it kind of makes a more immersive experience.
Also, it seems like everyone who talks to you in the multiplayer mode when you are in a match, who's like your commander in the fictional thing, is like English.
I like that.
A lot of English people. I don't know why. It's
Her Majesty's secret robot service.
Secret robots.
I'm on board with that. I like robots.
Yeah, I mean, I have no other real complaints besides that.
I gotta be honest. It sounds like a pretty glowing recommendation.
It's like really good.
The issues really you have are issues. They sound fairly minor, actually.
I think what we need to do is put out a notice to our Sons Fund thing. Write an acquisition form. Maybe we'll acquire the game in 2 to 4 months.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we should do.
We should send it to the podcast principal.
Well, we're glad to have you here to talk about that, Baz. But we got to get moving. We got to
get out of here. I got stuff to do. I'm getting
guys,
tired.
We want to quick talk to you about something very important. We just recently started tweeting. We do have a Twitter account now. It's SonsOfVidya. If you want to go follow us, we post random weird stuff. We post a link to our new video. We'll do little quotes from our stuff. And it's a great time. Go do that if you want to. Also, you should email us, because emailing is the nectar of life.
It's true.
It's the
also,
currency of the late
comments
1980s.
on YouTube videos are the nectar of nectars.
It's a nectarine of the nectar community.
Yeah, definitely.
If you rate us on iTunes, you earn a special place in Valhalla. You get to sit next to Thor and all of his big buddies.
It's true.
And you get to feel like you were in Ragnarok, but you don't have to actually contribute. So it's like the best thing a Viking could ever want.
Yeah, if you rate us on iTunes, if I ever find out who you are, I will give you a high five on the street.
I'm going to do like a Taken-style Liam Neeson finding you, but in order to give you candy and treats.
Although, Thor is not going to be impressed by your League of Legends battle exploits.
It's true, but he will be impressed after he hears these world-class speed
reviews. Tom, this is the top 10 list of top 10 GameCube games. As read by Baz.
Number 10, Mario Power Tennis.
Mario Power Tennis is a game where you play as Mario Andretti, who's a race car driver, but is using his race car to hit tennis balls for some reason. So it's really weird. 3 out of 10.
Mario Party 4.
This is Mario's party, and he can cry if he wants to, but he doesn't, because this game's fun. 4 out of 10.
Number 8, Lego Star Wars.
Lego Star Wars is the Star Wars made out of Legos. You got a Death Lego, and you got a Star Destroy Lego, and you got all the Legos you could ever want. So you go to the Lego store and you buy all the Lego sets you could ever want. So it's like $1 million for one game. 0 out of 10.
Number 7, Pikmin.
This gets a 0 for spelling. The correct word is picnic. 0 for spelling. Number 6.
Mario Kart Double Dash.
Mario Kart Double Dash is that Mario Kart where for some reason you have 2 people in your go-kart, even though that would make your go-kart fall over and you all get hurt.
2 exclamation points, too.
Nobody wants to get hurt. 0 out of 10.
Number 5, Kirby Air Ride.
Kirby Air Ride is about those fancy air brakes that 18-wheelers use. Kirby's a gruff mechanic, and he's got to make sure that the big rigs get out on time. It's a 10 out of 10.
Number 4, Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's finally hit the big time. He's moving up from the east side of a deluxe apartment, whatever. 0 out of 10.
Number 3, Animal Crossing.
Man, I hate Animal Crossings. I'm just driving down the road and you see a goose crossing sign. You gotta stop. It just takes forever. 0 out of 10.
Number 2, Super Mario Sunshine.
Super Mario Sunny D is a game about that delicious orange drink that you make out of sunshine and oranges, but it's not actually oranges and they can't call it orange juice for some reason. I didn't like it. 0 out of 10.
Number 1, Super Smash Brothers Melee.
I feel like this is kind of a cop-out. Is this really the best GameCube game? I mean, obviously it's good, but is it the best?
Yes, it is.
All right, that's fair. 10 out of 10 then. Congrats.
We did it.
Guys, we're going to catch you next week.
We'll see you next time.